Hello, everybody. Good morning from Thailand. Welcome to this master class on sleep. As is my habit, let me call in the divine for my class and all of you. Om Shrim Sarvadeva Param Karuna Param Jyotiye Namaha. Om Shrim Sarvadeva Param Karuna Param Jyotiye Namaha. Om Shrim Sarvadeva Param Karuna Param Jyotiye Namaha. Om. Okay, so I hope you have your pen and paper ready. The way I'm going to run my master classes, what I've decided to do here is try to give you a very concise overview of various subjects and information. And this is different than a collective session or the full moon. This is a class, it's a master class. So it's informational, okay? And one of the gifts I bring to the table is all my life I can take some huge body of knowledge and sift it right down to what is essential. That's what I want to give you. Now, this one is about sleep, because sleep is unbelievably important. And the way the world is designed now, it doesn't cultivate good sleep. If we design our life in harmony with the way we're made, you'll have a good life. If you don't design your life according to the way you're made, you won't. So sleep is it's as important as your waking life. No sleep, no cigar. And I want to give you the reasons why. Now, sleep is a series of three. They're cycles. In order to live healthy and not get dementia and not have a nervous breakdown and not crash, be able to enjoy your life, you need all three. We're designed by nature for that. And the three different cycles, they are layered. They have specialized purposes. So let's look at the three cycles first. Deep sleep. We've all heard of deep sleep. It lasts 1 to 2 hours of the night, 1 to 2 hours. During deep sleep, what happens? The glymphatic phase happens. The glial cells, what do? They clean your brain. When your brain is operating all day, it's producing waste. It's going to the bathroom all over your brain. Metabolic waste. So when you get into the deep sleep cycle, cells called glial cells. When I was studying to be a doctor, they described them like little flowers, and they bloom, and they run all over your brain like little vacuum cleaners, and they eat up and clean the plaquing and all the metabolic waste. If you don't have the cleaning of your brain at night, the plaquing will build up and it will cause dementia and Alzheimer's and all the rest of it. It's got to be clean. Muscle recovery happens during the 2 hours, and the growth hormones are released. They keep you healthy, regenerated, all of that. That happens in those 2 hours, those three things. Special emphasis on the cleaning of the brain. Next is the REM, rapid eye movement sleep. That's 1.5 to 2 hours long. 1.5 to 2 hours long. It's another cycle. This guy does a lot. During that REM sleep, you have memory consolidation. Memory consolidation of what? Of everything you did during the day, everything you learned, that you experienced. It's all consolidated and processed. Next, emotions that all ran through the day, they're processed. Cognition, thinking, planning, it's all processed. Your moods, if you woke up in a bad mood or a good mood, if you went into a bad mood or a good mood during the day, you look at the news and you get infuriated by all of the garbage that's going on everywhere. Moods, they have to be processed. And then all of this processing, memory, emotion, cognition, and your moods equals, when it's processed, equals stress resilience. If it's not processed, your stress resilience will keep going down and down and down. Now, if you were in my collective the other day, and what I've been showing you is burnout, overload, quiet quitting, quiet cracking. It's epidemic now. It'll get much, much worse. So you got to be ahead of the curve. You guys that are with me, this is an elite group. You got to be ahead of the crowd, above it. So we need stress resilience. Now, the other 50% of your sleep, they call light sleep. Your heart rate goes down and it reboots your nervous system, because it's your nervous system that has to handle everything, eh? So those are the cycles. Deep sleep, 1 to 2 hours, goes into REM sleep, all of the processing. So the deep sleep is the cleaning, and the muscle recovery. These are the big boys, eh? The big heavy machinery in the deep sleep. The REM sleep, where your eyes are moving back and forth, 1.5 to 2 hours long, and it's processing everything, filing it away, taking care of it. The light sleep reboots the nervous system, and the heart rate goes down, and it's restful. Okay? Those are the cycles of sleep. It's layers. If we don't get all three of those layers, we are not recovering. We're slowly going down. Now, human beings we're really built pretty damn resiliently, pretty tough. But eventually it'll break. So sleep, I want you to really start thinking very seriously about sleep. I am. Let's talk about the bedroom. Bedrooms are for sex and sleeping. Bedrooms are not for the television and the news and any of that. If that's in your bedroom, get it out of there. It's damaging you neurologically and in every way possible. It's totally counterproductive. Next, before bed, always shut off all Wi-Fi. Shut it off. Wi-Fi is read by the pituitary gland in your brain, the master gland for hormones, as light. If your brain is receiving Wi-Fi, It thinks it's the middle of the day. That plus any kind of light, even little lights, drop the production of your melatonin 50%. So the room's got to be dark. It's got to be cool. Or if you're like me, cold. I like it really cold. But it's at least got to be cool. And this has all got to be set up before you get in under the sheets, eh? So it's real dark. It's got to be real quiet. I use an eye mask. Really, really important. 50% less melatonin is huge. And melatonin isn't just responsible for sleep. It's a master hormone. So it's essential. And get rid of Wi-Fi in the bedroom. It's your number one major enemy. Now let's talk about preparation for your sleep. Nowadays, I'm really taking this to heart myself. And my life is way less stressful than you folks over in America. You want to prepare for sleep. Just like you're going to prepare for a nice evening out with the family, or with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. You prepare, right? Prepare for sleep. Here's the essentials that the research shows. Eat your dinner 3 hours before you go to bed. Why? Because if you're digesting food, it stops or delays you from entering the deep sleep phase. It's the first layer. It stops or delays it if you're digesting food. So eat the dinner 3 hours before. Okay? Now, 1 hour before you intend to go to bed is a real big time. Shut off all the screens. No blue light at all. No input from any phone or computer. Insist on it. During that hour is when you do the brain dump. Pull out your book. I'm really getting to enjoy this. Pull out your journal and start removing everything from your head onto that book, onto paper. That is a major, major lifestyle change that's essential because of everything I taught you the other day. The way this world is designed now, there's just input, 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 all open loop stuff. And your brain, when you go to sleep, your brain does not shut it off because the files are open. So it's working the whole time. And the stuff you're looking at is all fear and threat based. So you're actually, the amygdala doesn't shut off. So the amygdala is in hypervigilance while you're sleeping, while you're supposed to be sleeping. It's running the threat response. That's keeping the cortisol up, knocking out the melatonin, and your brain is never resting. And then all the different things that you got to do, the kids, your wife, the boyfriend, the bills, whatever the idiots are doing on the other side of the world, diseases over there, the immigrant, all this stuff. And how on earth do you think that brain is ever going to go to sleep? So do you think with that situation that the glial cells are ever cleaning their brain? Why do you think there's epidemic level Alzheimer's and dementia? If the brain cleans, you won't get these things will not happen. But they're going to happen because the quality of sleep is like a zero. That's why. Okay. So prepare the bedroom, knock out the Wi-Fi, make it cold or cool, zero light, very quiet. Then you eat your dinner 3 hours before, so the food will be digested by the time you go to bed. 1 hour before, shut everything off, get out your book, and start um, engaging with your own life process. It's not just a boring thing to do. You're actually processing as you're writing. You're engaging with what your life is. See, most people, they have no idea what the hell their life is, and then they just die. Bhagavan says they just die like a cockroach. Life, they just work. They have no processing time. They pay bill, do this, drink, go to the bathroom, and then they get old and they die, or they don't get old and they still die. So here's what I'm finding when I'm doing this now. I'm doing this every day. It's amazing to think of all the stuff I did and how I did it and how I reacted to this or that, which is showing me what my consciousness level is, what my reticular activating center of my brain is focused on, which is giving me my results. Because reticular activating center can only focus 40 bits of information a second. It's like a little pin light in a big dark room, big dark warehouse. You got this little tiny pin light, the reticular activating center. It'll only see what the light exactly hits. So if I'm always looking at crap, that crap is my vibration, my frequency, my everything. Then the law of resonance from the universe, which is indifferent, just says, okay, so be it. And that's what they have. And remember now, you're in an arena. We were born, everyone gets born into an arena. You never chose it. You're born in it. This arena is completely against you. There isn't anything in that arena, on that phone or none of that stuff is your friend at all. Not at all. If you want to see something interesting, study psyops and then look at the media. Here's some more for your prep. Now, cortisol and blood sugar can spike, and that'll wake you up between 2 and 3 in the morning. That's what'll happen to me. It happened to me real easy. There's a trick to that. Before you go to bed, take a handful of almonds and munch on those. Just a handful. And another good one is a banana. And you get Ceylon cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon. If you get it in the capsule, I break open the capsule. And you just sprinkle a little of the Ceylon cinnamon on the banana. And that will help knock you out. It'll just help you knock you out. And the almonds are just enough protein that'll handle the blood sugar cortisol spike, and it won't wake you up at 2 to 3. There's a little trick to that. And of course, it's always nice to drink some warm water with some magnesium in it, or take some magnesium before you go to sleep. Magnesium helps relax. Magnesium is a very key nutrient. Handles over 300 biochemical processes and all kinds of stuff. It's very, very important for your sleep. I take that every night. The almonds are a really smart little trick, and the banana, and It'll help you just settle right down. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you how to prep your body. Prepping your body for sleep does not start from the head, it starts from the feet up. Prepping yourself for sleep starts from the feet up. Most people, they always think brain, and even as I'm talking, it all seems brain, 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 brain. But when we're talking about the body, we're talking something different. And there's like 7,000 nerve endings in your feet. Everything comes up through the feet. So what you do is before you go to bed, take the time to put your foot up, cross your legs so you can reach your feet. Take your thumbs, and if you have some oil, the best oil is castor oil, actually, but any kind of nice oil, and massage your feet. Start from the heel, work up toward your toes. And maybe do a minute to 2 minutes each foot. Soften and relax your feet. Soften and relax your feet. You can have a warm or hot shower. One thing though about showers, the water is so toxic now. When you go in a hot shower, your skin absorbs the toxins that's in the crap water. So if you don't have a filter on for your water at your home or where you live, you can buy one, of course, but if you don't have that, do what I do, have a very brief shower, but warm and hot. After you massage your feet, put socks on. It really makes a difference. If those socks are on and your feet are warm, it'll help you sleep like a baby. Really, really important. Next, I'll show you, I want to teach you 3 points on your hands. So you did your feet, and now you're going to come up to your hands. And this is right as you're going to go to bed, fall asleep. You take your fingers to your thumb, right on the edges of the thumbnail, and you squeeze and hold for 1 to 2 minutes. Just squeeze and hold. You can take some nice deep breaths, close your eyes, feel your body letting go. Hold that. That's a reflex that will stimulate, signal your body to fall asleep. It's really cool, and it really works. So you do that one on your thumb. Sometimes, if you want, you can do both thumbs. I only do one. Next, you take your hand and you run from your forefinger, run it down to where the line meets your thumb, the thenar eminence of your thumb. And right where you meet that line, don't worry about it. It's not, you don't have to have laser accuracy. Take your other thumb and press into it. It'll be a little tender. And you hold that for 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. You can sort of stimulate it, little gentle circles. That's going to further move you toward your body shutting down and ready to sleep. And then the last one for the hands, take 3 fingers, go to the base of your wrist, 3 fingers long, and where the third finger is, you'll feel 2 tendons in the center of your wrist. And at that point where the third finger is, take your thumb and put it in between, centered right between those 2 tendons. And hold it there with a little bit of firm pressure for 1 to 2 minutes. And that cascade here, there, and down your wrist, 3 fingers down, and you hold, and it'll signal your body down. Just signals your body down. Okay? Now, what exactly disrupts our sleep? Here's a couple of key disrupts that are real common. Hitting the snooze button. I love hitting the snooze button, and I'll tell you why I do it. However, be aware of this. Hitting the snooze, what happens when you hit a snooze button, the alarm goes off, you were in sleep, in a cycle. So you're supposed to get up, you wanted to get up at that time, and instead you hit the snooze button. When you fall back to sleep, you started a new cycle. However, the snooze button goes off another 5-10 minutes, whatever it's set at. A cycle actually takes like 90 minutes, 60 minutes to 90 minutes. So every time you hit the snooze button, you start a cycle, but it was never completed. You start a cycle and never completed. Start a cycle, never completed. So that's neurologically inefficient, and a lot of times by the time you do get up, you might feel more tired. Now, I choose to use the snooze button because I use it to prime my subconscious mind. I use it to prime my reticular activating center. And the way I do that is when I hit the snooze button, I immediately have some nice affirmations that I repeat over and over and over again until I fall back to sleep. Snooze button goes off, I say them again, or I'll say some other ones. And I'll tell myself what kind of man I want to be today, what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to train. I'm going to produce material for my clients. And then I'm going to have a wonderful day. And I tell myself these things because at that time, my brain, your brain, is still in theta. It's in a theta brainwave pattern. And that sets the tone for me to get up. And then my little pen light is looking at a great morning and a great day. And I can't wait to bond with the divine and start my sadhana and start my day. And then the first thing I look at when I get up is the sky. Of course, I get up when it's still dark, but you look at the sky and you get the natural light, and that stimulates the brain in the proper way. See, what I was telling you at the beginning of this masterclass is, how am I on time? Good. If we live according to nature, you'll do well. Nowadays, in modern life, there's no correlation to nature at all. It's a garbage style life. That's why it's killing the entire world. Everything's dying. Oceans are dying. Everything it's a homunculus. So what we want to do to be superior to that and to enjoy our life is to be the ones that live with nature. So what you have to try to insist on, it's not necessarily easy because we have you live in a modern world. But what you want to try to ideally do is you get up with the sun, you go and you decompress and go to bed at night. That's how we're made. Our brains are thousands of years old. Our body is thousands of years old. The nervous system is how it's designed for nature, because we are nature. We're no different than an ant, an elephant, or a tree. It's not. We're nature. Today is anti-nature. They're morons, but they don't know it, and then they kill themselves off. So if you can, you try to design your life so that you start in, you blend your life with the cycles of the nature of the world, of the universe. If you can do it, if you can design it that way and insist on it, you'll be so happy, and your health will improve, and everything will flow. I can guarantee you that. I know, because I've done it. And in the old days, when I was a young buck, I worked in factories and shift work and all those kinds of things. I know, I'm very familiar with all that stuff. So just know, if you're using the snooze, I recommend doing what I do. Develop some really good, simple affirmations you can remember. And when you're in that super groggy phase, you just keep saying it. And then you'll drop off asleep. The snooze wakes you up again, and you do the same thing. And when you do that, you'll find that you wake up like me. I'm on purpose. I'm aligned with abundance and the world, and why I'm alive. And I hit the ground running. Okay. Now, what are some other interrupts to our sleep? Please understand this, especially the last hour before bed. The last hour. Scrolling systematically. Systematically means on umpteen levels, destroys sleep. Scrolling systematically destroys sleep by many mechanisms. A lot of them I was describing the other day in the collective and so forth, about all the different things, the way it's activating the brain, the cortisol, the amygdala, the dopamine depletion. It's all on a flicker rate. Scrolling is actually a homunculus. Same thing first thing in the morning. If you actually wake up and look at that phone when you first wake up, that's the biggest mistake you could ever make. And what it does is it immediately activates the amygdala cortisol system. It immediately activates the cheap dopamine system. And it guarantees that you will never enter the present moment, and you'll be in a stress mode, the whole threat mode, the whole time. It's the worst mistake you can make first thing in the morning. And before bed, it's a big, big mistake. Don't do it. You just have to make your mind up and make a decision to take proper control of your life. If you think you can scroll and escape the amygdala, you're lying to yourself. Now, if you wake up tired when you've slept several hours, sleeping umpteen hours does not mean that the cycles were reached. Doesn't mean that. People make that mistake, and they'll try to sleep more hours. Doesn't mean that. They've got to reach the depth in order to activate the cycle, and then the cycle's got to last the required amount of time to complete what it's got to do for you to recover. So if you're waking up, if you're sleeping, but you wake up real tired, um, one, you're probably not getting enough deep sleep. The first big cycle, the deep sleep. Your nervous system is still in a threat mode. So that's why I want you to do the brain dump in the last hour before bed, because you got to close the files. As long as the brain thinks that those files are closed, it stops thinking about it. And that lets the amygdala relax and disengage. But if you're in a threat mode, the amygdala doesn't shut off and the nervous system is still ramped up. Now, the way we're designed, we can't do two things at once. We cannot repair our body. So let's say you're hurt, like I'm hurt from my car accident, and I have nerve damage and stuff that's got to repair. When I'm in bed and I'm going to sleep, if I'm still in a threat mode, my body cannot operate the parasympathetic rest and repair system at the same time that it can run the sympathetic threat stress system. They can only operate one at a time. And that's why you have to, let's say you live a stressful, challenged daily life. Okay, fine. We're designed by nature to be able to do that as long as we recover at night. But we have to recover. Our body can reboot, but it's got to be able to recover. And so that's why the brain dump is a big one. And also setting the prep. See, as you prepare for bed, you're telling the nervous system, the cells, the heart, your gut, your brain, you're telling it, I'm decompressing now, getting ready for bed. It's just like going to dinner. Dinner will be digested well, and you'll receive the nutrients you need, and everything is physiologically beautiful when you're prepared to eat. If you're not prepared to eat and you're just on the run, and shoving something in your mouth, and the way they have us live in the modern world. I remember when I was in the work world, you get the 30 minutes for lunch. That's why I don't work for nobody, because it's a stupid way to live life. But anyway, even if it's only got 30 minutes, you anticipate it and prepare yourself, because eating is supposed to be restful and enjoyable. It's a parasympathetic activity. It's not a sympathetic activity. The gut will not digest the food and will not receive it well, and you get the bloating and the discomfort and all the different things, because it's sympathetic. Sympathetic is, think of sympathetic mode as acid. So it doesn't go well with eating. Okay, so that is the other interrupt. Like I say, open files running. I can't emphasize that enough. That's the burnout, the quiet cracking, quiet quitting. So many files, the brain just can't do it, especially for sleeping. And then the blood sugar cortisol spike. That's why you eat the almonds. Just a little. If you don't like almonds, find some other little, just a little bit of protein, something that's easy to digest, and that'll handle the blood sugar cortisol so that you don't get that spike that wakes you up when you don't really want to wake up. Okay? So that is the class for today. And I really hope this helps, and I hope you are starting to understand how your brain works, how you work, and the relationship to your body and your life. And the sleep is one of the biggest, most important things you can do. It's just the job is not the most. You won't be doing the job long if you don't get your sleep. Okay, and you remember, if you've been with me for any length of time, you know, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm under 1 hour here. You know that I always teach everybody what I was taught a long time ago. You have to organize your life according to your values. We can all do what we value. You know, in the Great Depression, people were as poor as a church mouse. But the funny thing is, they always find the money to buy cigarettes and to have booze, alcohol. Always. What you will find is that whatever is the most important, real baseline things for yourself, no matter how hard life is, you will always be able to have the money to do that. That's the way, that's a fact. That all you got to do is look, and you'll see. No matter how bad it is, you'll always have your cigarettes if you smoke, and you'll always have alcohol. I always do, no matter what. Well, it's because it's a value. It's a fundamental that is unquestioned. And what I'm trying to teach you here now is to identify and form your values and engineer your life consciously. Consciously. I value appearance, my appearance. That's why I don't look like the village idiot. I see a lot of guys on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, supposed to be teachers. For me, they look like the village idiot. One guy doesn't even comb his hair. He's supposed to be some kind of a big famous guy. Just looked like a moron to me. Well, I value appearance, so that's why I wear a tie. It's my own self-respect, and it's respect for you. I value my sleep, so I'm engineering it all, because now that I'm an older man and I'm studying all this stuff, I realize I got to do that. I value all of you, so I try to learn the finest information I can. I live my life by my values. I'm asking you or teaching you to do the same. In order to do that, you have to make your values conscious. You have to know what you actually value. Most people are only drift. They don't actually know. They just drift, and they follow the group or the crowd or trends. I wouldn't know a trend if it fell on me. I live my life by timeless values that extend back 1,000 years in samurai history. I don't give a damn about trends. That's up to you, but you want it to be conscious. Conscious. Remember what I taught you, that one of the most important things in this class, at pen light, your reticular activating center will only see exactly what it's looking at. It doesn't see anything else. And what it does see is specifically from your subconscious mind. That's why you come to see me for privates, so I can go into your subconscious mind and change things for you. We can change it. Depth healing is a craft that can do it surgically. Most systems can't. But that's the way life is. That's the way life is. The stronger you design your life, the better you will be able to survive the coming days as AI takes over more and more and more. We got to develop ourself, us inside, so that despite the surround, you are okay. The guy that's the king of that kind of training is Dispenza. He did 20 years of special training under Ramtha School of Enlightenment in California. He did 20 years. And he's a member of an elite group that teaches them how to be superior to the environment. I know because he told me that personally. He described the training he went through personally. I went to dinner with him back in 2004. I understand the principle, but there's no way on earth any of us can do that kind of training. It takes very, very specialized circumstances, special environment takes years to develop something like that. So what I'm trying to give you is we got to go more directly, and then you receive Diksha. I go into the subconscious, remove your triggers, and change your subconscious programming so that you don't need 20 years. You just need 2 hours. Okay, so that's this class for now. You guys go ahead and get a good night's sleep tonight, and I hope I see you very, very, very soon. The next collective, I'm going to continue evolving you, getting you higher and higher so that you are in charge of your life and happy and things are going well for you. Okay, please refer me to your friends and whoever else needs me. I really want to build this group. I really, really want to build this group. Richie's working so hard. He builds the most beautiful promotion material. Everything he does is a masterpiece. Guide people to us. I really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Sweet dreams tonight. Bye for now. many people